Vicki Couch is with us, and she's from Hill and Hollow Quilters Guild.
I am.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Do you quilt all year round?
We do.
All year?
We do. Our members are absolutely devoted to the art of quilting.
That was the dinner bell.
That was the dinner bell.
That's the Dutch oven over there.
I'm missing it. I'm missing it.
We'll make sure they leave you a little
Save some
piece
for
of
her, but
Great.
it was delicious.
Great.
I finished mine off already.
We have this show every other year because it gives us a chance to showcase the best of our work.
Because it doesn't take a week to do a quilt. I mean, it takes quite a long time.
It takes quite a long time.
Yeah.
And of course, it depends on the size of the quilt. But this is a chance for us to share the best of our work with other people and to compete with our fellow guild members.
Yeah.
We have about 300 entries this year, and we have...
That's a lot of quilts.
That is a lot. Well, it's quilts, it's wall hangings, it's garments, it's home decor items.
Now, can you enter more than one? I'm sure you can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Now, I know that a true quilt in the beginning was hand done. Do you still have people that do that?
There are still people who hand quilt.
So
in
are
fact.
those separate categories,
We have
like machine quilting versus hand quilting? And then there's machine piecing. I mean, some people will use a sewing machine to piece it, but then they'll hand quilt it. But some people piece by hand and quilt by hand.
There aren't many of those left.
Woo! Oh, baby.
That's a lot of work.
That is a lot of
Yeah.
work. So most of these have probably been put together with a sewing machine, but are most of them machine quilted or hand
Most of
quilted?
them anymore are machine quilted. We
Machine
do
quilted.
have some special categories for hand quilted quilts. We have a judge coming in. She's certified by the National Quilter Association. And our viewers will also have a role to play. We have a viewer's choice competition, so everybody who comes to the show gets to vote for their favorite quilt. And we have a Find That Quilt game. So there will be pictures of little bits of quilts, and you line them up with the entry numbers.
Cool. Yeah.
And then we've got a prize every day for the person who gets them all right.
Cool.
And you basically, it's like being in an art gallery, because
It is.
I've
It
gone
is.
over there several times, and you just basically just
yeah.
walk around from and they're kind of grouped together. And now when I was there, you'd already awarded the prizes because there were already ribbons or something.
All except
on
viewer's
there.
choice.
Viewer's choice, because that was a tough
Yeah.
one. But voting on that.
We have shopping opportunities. We have 20 vendors, 15 vendors. One of whom is debuting their brand new product. It's called the Big View sewing platform that you actually sit your sewing machine on, and it's got a big magnifying glass for those of us who don't see quite as well as we used to, that highlights the actual needle area. Some of these quilts will be for sale, so if you see one that you really like, look for the for sale tags. And a lot of our members are working very hard on items for the country store. And these will be quilted, embroidered, appliqued, some quilting related things in terms of tools and fabric. And
And some quilts are not meant to be placed on a bed. They really are artwork, and people
Yes.
will hang them up because there's like an outdoor scene on them. I know this has been several years ago, but Joanne Wilbur, Mrs. Wilbur, she was doing a gorgeous quilt for her husband and it had like an elk or a deer or something on. I mean, it was just, I just stood there going, wow, when I looked at it.
you'll see some very traditional looking quilts. These are fairly traditional. You'll also see some that are definitely not your grandmother's quilt.
Yeah, definitely not your grandmother's
that are
quilt.
truly art quilts.
Now this one is what I call the type I would see, except it's obviously machine quilted, where you just took old scraps material that have no rhyme or reason and put it together. And that's the kind of stuff I remember my grandmother doing. And I could go, oh, you had a dress like this, Grandma. I had a dress made out of this. And so this is the stuff that makes me nostalgic, looking at these right here. And what's the name of this pattern?
That is a drunkard's path.
A drunkard, I'm glad I asked, a drunkard's path. But that one ever recognizes the log cabin and the wedding ring and double wedding ring. Those are the ones the drunkard's path. There you go, Dan.
Learn something new every day.
Learn something
Now,
new.
these 3 quilts are part of our charity quilt program.
Okay.
Our members make quilts for themselves and for members of their family and their friends. We also make baby quilts that we give to Baxter Regional for the maternity ward,
Right.
Serenity House, the Sheriff's Department, the Police Department for use with kids that are frightened.
Yeah. So
We
you're
make
quilting
full-size
all the
quilts
time,
for
yeah.
Hospice House. We make them for wounded veterans. So we're busy all the time.
I bet you're busy.
Well, nothing keeps you as warm as a quilt.
And this quilt,
Really?
this quilt show's coming up when?
It is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, from 10 to 6 on Thursday and Friday.
Which is
and
October
20th, 21st and 22nd.
Okay.
And we're competing with Julie and Kim on the 22nd.
Oh, you
That's-
probably
We'll
will.
be open from 10 to 4
10 to 4 out at the fairgrounds.
out at the fairgrounds.
This goes together with Dutch oven, so they can do
It
both.
does. It
They
does.
can do both.
Yeah.
Come to the Quilt Show on Friday. Go to the Dutch Oven Cook-Off on Saturday.
Saturday. So it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday,
Yes.
20th, 21st, and 22nd. Very good, over at the
Well,
fairgrounds.
check it out.
It is $5 admission. Kids under 12 free,
Okay.
and it's worth doing.
Oh, it is definitely worth it. It's really quite the show. No
Well,
doubt
Vicki,
about
thanks a lot for coming by. Thanks for giving us
Certainly.
gifts. We love
that. Yeah,
gifts.
yeah, exactly. We'll just keep these. Thank you very much. Now, you can have the drunken quilt there, Daniel. I'll take the one that looks like grandma's.
Everyone, you will see these out at the show, so don't think that we're taking these away from.
Yeah, these will be
true.
this will be the ones to go find too that Sandy
Yeah.
and Dan didn't steal these.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
have a
Thank you
great
so much.
show.
All right, up next, Lee Coleman's here. Kidspiration.
Kidspiration.
Stay with us.